examine removing the stop loss, basically, entirely remove it. And that tends to be pretty good and successful, despite actually no did, but removing stop has been really.
Your microphone's cutting out. Can hardly hear what you're saying. You said something about removing stops. Sounds a little dangerous. Not sure what you're doing there, but be careful. Oh, man. All right.
Well, it's actually the mean reversion. Basically, you know, every time that actually something actually goes massively to one direction, you would expect to come back at some point. So if it doesn't work, if it goes back higher and higher, so I'll add to the position, but at some point it would come back to me.
Okay. I just believe in levels. It goes from one level to the next. I don't know what mean reversion is. Honestly, you know, I mean, those are what moving averages are used for, mean reversion and stuff like that. But yeah, you know, if you find a way that works for you, that you can use that thinking, mean reversion, sure, use it. And that's okay. That works. All right. Let's get going here. We got, okay, I've got a couple of live positions on. This one's almost at the target. It's the MNQ. I was long maybe an hour ago or so down here. It's about to hit that target there. S&P MES took the long in this area with a stop, and the target's way up there, so that may take some time. And I had a position on oil, which stopped out. I was long in this area, stopped out a little while ago. All right, so those are that, just based on levels. Not too much going on here. But let's look at all these tickers. We'll go from the top. Oh yeah, I had the levels here. Let me put them back on. Where'd they go? All right, there we go. MES, we have levels right there. Where are these levels from? I had them from, yeah, that's pretty recent, pretty obvious resistance. And down here it was pretty obvious resistance. You have the breakout. Was that profit? Okay, so that looks like that hit the target. That's MNQ at the target. Over here we had resistance. This was an interesting level. There's resistance last week, Thursday and Friday, I believe, and then yesterday, Monday. And then overnight it opened up above that level, came into it, bounced off it with higher lows, and then started to consolidate at this more local resistance. So you have this consolidation leading to a breakout. I pre-entered the breakout basically, and I'm into this. So this level makes a lot of sense to me, and I like the setup. It's a big one. Did a big consolidation yesterday, and a very neat bounce off. So I have the conviction to see a big move, and that's why I put the target up. Basically, the next area of resistance that I saw on the chart is where up here, this zone. You can see where it is. So that's that on MES. MNQ. Wow. You guys had a big mess yesterday. I didn't look at the markets yesterday, but it looks like it was a great big mess. MNQ, same idea. This key level yesterday's high, essentially, but it was also a key last week. Pretty good resistance on Friday. So that level's there. And you had where it gapped up when the market closed and opened at 6 p.m. Eastern yesterday. Came into yesterday's action, double bottom kind of setup, basically higher lows. And I got the trade from down here up there that you just saw at the target. So that's that one. And that higher level, yeah, there it is. You can see that more recent resistance. So that's where we're sitting now. This could be fun. Going further up for the day. Another on Meta as well. Let's go down this list. I've got a lot here on this list, but we don't have to go through all of it. Russell 2000 again. I got these levels. You can see pretty obvious support and resistance, right? Stuck in a range if you like to trade the range, but I'll just wait for a consolidation to break out and then retest. Then I'll be interested. And now we have something. So those alerts are over there. And going to the Dow Jones. What is this? All right, so this level makes sense that you had that gap. And then it was support turned resistance. And again, it was yesterday's high. So this is very interesting. Yesterday was a great big mess, it looks like. But again, overnight, seems like it consolidated below yesterday's high. And more recently, probably in the last half hour or so, it's been going up. Breakout from there. I haven't been looking at this one, but the setup looks okay. But the RVR isn't too good, right? Went from one level to the next here. These levels are very tight. This level makes sense. It's already gone from there. Next one up, I've got here where you can see was support and then broke down, turned into resistance. So that's why I have that one there. So all these levels are very much in the game today, I think. We have oil. Again, pretty obvious recent support. And up here, this was more recent resistance, consolidation, overnight breakout. So what I was looking at was basically right here, very local activity. Yesterday's high, which was resistance, turned into a very good resistance, really, overnight with that consolidation and the breakout. Came back for the retest, and this zone I went long and got to stop out. And now it's come right back into this range. So there is the idea that this is resistance. If it pulls back up, you could take a short, perhaps, if you believe in it. If you find your setup, you're getting these lower highs. This is a decent setup for a false breakout and then go back to the other end of the range. So I'd keep an eye on this, perhaps a short down here. More recent activity is telling me it's a short. Oh, that's a fun one. Natural gas, I don't think anyone wants to look at. Gold. What do we have on gold? Yeah, again, pretty well range bound. So I've got these levels here. Not much going on. I'd say just wait for it to get to a level and then see what you got. Should have looked at this about 2 hours ago, maybe. I wasn't looking at it. Does a long down there, maybe. But again, I don't genuinely like to trade inside ranges. I like to wait for the range to complete itself so I can identify the whole thing as a consolidation and then catch a breakout from there or a retest of the breakout. Going from support and resistance back and forth is just not it's not exactly the way I like to trade. But I will show you something here. Look at this area. You can see it went from the bottom to the top. And then at the top here, you can see it resisted, put in this consolidation, which is a decent signal that it could break out, but it does not. Instead, it breaks it down. So I would identify this as a tiny area of support. And if you get the breakdown, perhaps there's an entry there. So consolidation at a small level leading to a breakout. I like those. That's when I get the high conviction to put on positions, even down here. If you're seeing this come down, you're seeing it's in a massive support area, it's putting in this consolidation. You can see a double bottom, and this is an even tighter consolidation here. Breakout from here, you may have an opportunity. Those are the kinds of positions I would take. Anyways, that's what we have for now. It's all just in a tight range, so wait for it. Silver, I don't believe I've been looking at silver. Same idea as gold, really. Got this consolidation. It's a bit messy, I gotta say. This is a bit of a false breakout. So that's interesting. We have the same setup happening now on oil, where you have a false breakout, comes right back in and shoots down to the other end of the range, right? Look at oil right now. Where is it? Right there. You can see in the oil on these levels, it went out of the range, came back in, and now maybe it's going down to the other end. So you saw it already happened on silver. It may be happening on oil now. So keep an eye on it. Anyways, that's silver. Crypto, Bitcoin futures. Haven't looked at this. I don't know what's going on here. This level makes sense. It was resistance. Consolidation led to a breakout. It's come back in now. Yeah, we got overhead resistance up there. I don't think I'm going to look at this. This is just a messy chart. There's other ways to make money in the market. All the rest of this are commodities and Forex stuff that I've just thrown on the screen. Doesn't mean I'm really looking at it, but it's there. If you want to look at it, let me know. But got it sitting there for now. No big deal. All right. Other than that, we've got the Mag 7. Y'all want to look at the Mag 7? Or no need? You guys know what to do with them? Yeah. All right. If no one wants to look at it, I won't look at it. What's up, Oliver, Tariq? Good morning, guys, or good evening. Having fun with the market. Hope you guys did okay yesterday. It was I wasn't here. I didn't look at the market at all yesterday, but man, it looks like it was a mess. Where is it? S&P. Here, yesterday's activity went nowhere. Oof. I'd be super careful with it. Anyways, that sets up for a good breakout opportunity today, which we've already got going here. It's MES and the MNQ. Already took the trade on MNQ long from down this area and it hit the target. But it really, again, it sets up. We have a day where it goes nowhere, then it gaps up above the high, comes back in, bounces off higher lows. It's a good setup for the long, so I took that one earlier. Just at the target maybe 10 minutes ago, 5 minutes ago.
I don't think this is a gap up, actually. This is a contract, actually, conversion.
No, this is, what do you call it? The markets close, right, at 5 p.m. Eastern, and then open at 6 p.m. Eastern, right? And so, yeah, the contract switches over and all that. So what you get is a little lower volume, in my understanding. But the point is, the way I'm looking at it is, on TradingView, I'm looking at this continuous contracts. I never actually go in and switch over to the next contract. The software just does it for me, and I just read the price action as if there's no expiry date, even though I have the signal here that this is a contract switchover. But I'm not even considering that. For me, it's just candlesticks. And just looking at the activity, this was a decent setup.
Okay.
But yeah, when getting into the contract expiry stuff, as far as I know, usually a few weeks before expiry, you may want to switch over to the next contract because of volume. Quite simply, won't have liquidity. Now, for most people, that's not a real problem. So until you're getting into some sizes that liquidity is a problem, then pay attention to that. But for now, for most people in here, it's not a big deal. Especially with MES and MNQ, these things are heavily traded, right? Not a big deal.
Quick question from you. Have you tried to using level 2 on MES or MNQ? Do you find it any useful? Have you any?
Yeah, so I've used the level 2 plenty over the years, depth of market, level 2, all that stuff. I don't find it useful. For me, it brings in more confusion than it brings in anything useful. I used to use it primarily for identifying targets, and it worked, again, only for scalping. If you're trading the 1 minute chart right at the open in the first 15 minutes and you're 10 cents away from it, you see a big order block, you can go target that, something like that, then it's reliable. But because the order book is so spoofed all the time, people put on orders, take them off, and then there's icebergs, and there's all kinds of things. I don't believe it. I don't trust it. So over the years, I've just let it go. And what I do instead is actually use this chart here, which is, again, the footprint chart. I find it tremendously more useful. If you just look at it right now, for example, MNQ came from down to up, slammed into this level. And what you see that here on these candles is exactly the transactions as they happen. If you had the order book or book map or something, you'd see all this area highlighted where perhaps there's orders sitting on the book to sell, limit orders waiting to be sold. But the truth is, those limit orders, as the price approaches it, people could easily take them off. Market makers could take them off or move them up higher or move lower, or they could be heavier than they were or lighter than they were, whatever. All that changes all the time. So I can't trust it. I only trust transactions that actually happen. So what you're seeing on this chart here is what you're seeing are transactions that actually happen. You can see the market sellers and the market buyers that actually got liquidated or got their orders filled. And then, of course, there's imbalance indications here. But this is what I'm more interested in. Like in real time right now, you can see exactly where it's selling and buying. You can see right here, right now, just a second ago, lots of market sell orders hit. That's when the volume came in just a moment ago. It's right there again. You can see it on the left side right here. So I'm watching that as it happens, and that gives me a clear indication, much clearer than anything else. And to give you a little more insight, I guess, over here, if you look at when the price goes up and you see on the green side, you see it's getting heavy, like up here, it's pretty obvious. Lots of heavy volume on the green side. So lots of people hitting the market buy button, aggressive buyers. But even with all their aggression, they're still not able to go up. And instead, the price actually came down. So that's unusual. And when there's more people buying and aggressive buyers, price should go up. It works in any supply-demand economics, right? But it didn't happen here. So that's an anomaly. That right there is quickly telling me, okay, turns out there were lots of orders sitting on the book here to be sold. Lots of asks, basically. And yep, as soon as the market hit there, that was sold. Okay, good. So I know it was there. Now I have absolute confirmation that that was a big order block sitting right there. And look, it came lower and it's been sitting lower even, especially right here. You can see lots of aggressive buyers more than sellers, and they got filled, but unable to go up. That's telling me this area between these two candles, or between these 4 or 5 candles right here, it's telling me that the level I've got is here. But the truth is, because of the transactions, it turns out the sellers, the passive sellers, the big sellers, are truly sitting up in this area. And so far, all the aggressive market buyers have not been able to push through. They've been just shot down and actually moving a bit lower. So I'm reading it this way. Makes it a lot easier than guesswork, as in you're guessing what's going to happen in the future by looking at the order book. I'm actually looking at what is happening in real time. And right now, just watching every candle, you can see the transactions happening. It's like watching the tape, really, but in a much simpler way. So I hope that helps. Just one thing to look at. Don't have to look at the order book. Don't have to look at anything. It doesn't. It doesn't do too much for me.
Started looking at the order book on the futures. Basically, when I look at the MNQ, for instance, I see that the orders are so sparse. Basically, we have like 2-3 contracts. Basically, nothing apart from. Basically, doesn't make any sense. But in the ES, especially in the pre-market session, it is sometimes working pretty well, but not in the market session. In the market, is actually completely well balanced. It's similar to SPY, but in the pre-market, in the Asia session, it tends to be pretty, informative from what I saw actually in the last few days. I mean, my experience is very limited, obviously.
Okay. Well, my suggestion is always the same. Keep it as simple as you need it to be. Don't make it more complex than you need it to be. Put it that way. When it comes to trading. So, I mean, simple candlestick charts using a time frame that makes sense to you. That's the easiest. And really bringing in footprint charts on top of that just gives you more accuracy once you learn how to read supply and demand, which is really, I mean, we learned that in the 4th grade. All of us did. Supply and demand, right? And really, that's not much more than that. You don't need much more than that, I think. The order book stuff, it's there. Again, for me, it brought in more complexity. There's people who do use it effectively for entries. Typically, they tend to be reversal players off of pivots and things like that. Not stuff that I like to trade, because those kinds of trades, typically you have to take quite a few stop outs before you get it to go. And even though I have this whole philosophy of having a high RVR so I can afford stop outs, I still rather minimize the stop outs. I don't want to have to take stop outs if I don't have to. But again, that's my experience with the order book. I don't know. It doesn't really interest me. I feel like market makers really use it as to their advantage more than it's not an advantage to us. It kind of confuses us. So simple strategies, simple levels. We have Amal showing us all the fib stuff. That's amazing. If anyone's struggling with complex strategies, I think just look at that. He's got a very simple way of doing things and very reliable. The other simple ones are the naked trading stuff that I've been doing for a while. Look at those. There's probably 3 different strategies in there if you want to try them. None of them involve reading the order book or reading footprint charts or tick charts, any of the stuff that I'm doing right now. You don't have to. Now I'm just trying to upgrade my trading, so I'm doing this now. But there's easy ways to do it. There are very, very simple ways to do it. And do not trade options. That's my one big warning. Don't ever trade options. Oh man, yeah, good stuff. Good, Nasser. Glad to see you're in the game and thinking about it, making progress. What we got here, Tarek? You're saying gold was good yesterday to you, man. You and gold, man. Seriously, we got to come up with a nickname for you. Did somebody come up with a nickname for Tarek? It's like the gold bug or something in this room. It was a big drop through the day. Interesting. Gold, let's see. So what is the MES position? It's still sitting there. Let's see. Hopefully it hits that target pretty soon. You know what? The time has come to move it to break even. So the entry was in this area with a stop right below it. Survived the pullback. And you can see there was resistance up here. Went right through it and gone into another level of consolidation. So from here, if it truly reverses and comes back, there's no point being in it, right? So I'll move the stop to break even and a little better. and that's it. No risk on that. Either it hits a target, which is, oh yeah, target's up there. Either it goes or it doesn't. At this point, no big deal. Cool. Fun. Oh yeah, we got Oliver and Tarek. Both of you into gold all the time. I love it. All right, let's look at some of these Mag 7 tickers. I believe the levels need some updating. We'll go into the 30-minute chart here. You can go down this list. We did this at some point last week. So we got, all right, Tesla. Ooh. What is this chart? Wow, hurts my eyes. All right, so I see a level down here. Pretty much yesterday's low. Yesterday's high is pretty obvious. We got this one, which was a high a couple days ago. This interesting range. So there you go. Tesla looks like it's in this area. There's obviously a lot of support down here, a lot of buyers here. And you know what's interesting? You have this consolidation zone overnight with higher lows happening now. So, and it seems to be breaking upward as well. So I would consider, if you think of major players buying it up down here, they've been doing it consistently for a little bit now since yesterday. And then you have this consolidation, so the break and the retest of this, basically this pre-market resistance area. If it comes down there, if it opens kind of where it is, pretty much in this area, that's where the long is. If it holds over pre-market, over the resistance area, break and hold, and off you go. So Tesla is very interesting. I don't see a bearish sign in it yet. Bearish sign would be down here, break below basically yesterday's low. Then we have something else. So that's cool. Keep an eye on Tesla. Let's look at NVIDIA. It's going to take a minute to pop up. All right, what do we have? So we got these levels. That one, what is this? Oh yeah, this was interesting. Wants to support. It's pretty much there now. We have this down here. This is out of the range. My eyes go straight here to the there you go, the alert went off. You can see that was resistance, breakout, turn support, and then yeah, support in this area. You know what? I would just move it right up here. You have the support right here on NVIDIA. This level right now where it is, it's a bit tricky, you know, because well, it was resistance, turned support, and since then had this breakdown, and it's been a bit messy. Where it is right now, I'd be very careful with it. I don't think I would trust this level. Let's get this out of the way. You can use just the pre-market range and go pre-market high, breakout, pre-market low. You have pre-market's resistance zone here. You can work with that. I don't trust this level over here. Let's bring this down in this area. There we go. And yeah, just put this one at yesterday's high. That's an extreme. There you go. Just be careful with NVIDIA in this area. It doesn't look very neat. It looks like it wants to pop up and go, but at least let it get to this area here. We have the high of 2 days ago for a cleaner opportunity. All right, Apple is here. Well, we have this kind of support zone yesterday. This is interesting, kind of where the price is now, but yeah, further up, you can see again, support, breakdown, retest. Look at this. These are my favorite. We have support, turn into resistance, right? Support, breakdown, and then turn into resistance. And I can bring it down a little bit, perhaps, in this area. So there you go. You have Apple in this range. If you want to get a little cute about it, you can bring this up in here, where again you have a mild resistance zone, intraday stuff, turn into support. You can work with that if Apple gets there again. Generally, I don't go with levels that are this tiny. I like to go for bigger moves, so I tend to go more towards the extremes and just wait a couple days till the price gets there.
And why is it not a double bottom?
Apple
or Amazon
Let me
as
look.
well. It's the same.
Amazon. Is it okay? Let's go to Amazon. Amazon. What
Not
do
the
we
same,
have
really.
here?
It's more on Apple.
Alrighty. Well, let's look what we have here. This is interesting. This level here we have, it was support. You can see that descending wedge shape over here, breakdown, retest. And it's been pretty well respecting this level until it got here, it got messy. But then again, more recently, yesterday and now, respecting this level. So I think this level makes sense. Basically, yesterday's high. And what we have is we have some support here, which turned into resistance, turned to support again. Go further up with it. You have, this is interesting. Look at that intraday level yesterday, middle of the day. That was the high of day breakout and then bounce off. So these levels make sense. Again, nothing more than support resistance. And let's see, yeah, this is a good one. You see, when I look for breakouts, this is what I like to see. You have the resistance level, and if the price approaches it, you want it to approach it with higher lows, ideally an ascending wedge shape, ascending triangle, and then the breakout, and then the retest, and then go. And all that's already happened. Now you have to wait and see what it does at this level. And for now, I wouldn't trust the breakout. Now I would like to see again an ascending wedge shape like you saw here. See that again? That'll set up for a good breakout. So it's always the quality of the consolidation determines the quality of the breakout. So I like to see good quality consolidation before going in for the breakout. All right, next one. Microsoft. Where is Microsoft? Oh boy. What is going on with this chart? We have support in this area. You can see there. Again, descending wedge straight down to the breakdown here. Turned into support yesterday. And further up, we have, you can see this area was all support. And just about there more recently. Zoom in a bit here. See, that was support. And then the break happened from there. So there you go. Microsoft seems to be, seems like it wants to open in between these levels. So you have something to work with. Interesting. Most things seem to be gapping up today a little bit. Meta, everyone's favorite, huh? Meta. Everyone who loves Meta, raise your hand. No. Nobody. Oh. Yeah, don't trade Meta. Oof. Well, trade Meta, just don't get leveraged on it. All right, what do we have here? So this level was making sense until a couple of days ago. Yikes. Now what happened? Ooh, great big messy zone, huh? It's very simple to my eyes. You got the extremes of this price action where it is right now. There's your high and low. Let it get out of the zone. Just wait for it to exit. Don't play with it in here. So just leave that. Here we have AMD. AMD. Has anyone been trading AMD recently? I haven't seen any screenshots or any talk about it.
Yeah, just ORBs have been trading actually a few days ago.
Yeah, that's not trading, man. I'm talking about trading. You're talking about ORB. Yeah, so there's ORBs on everything. No big deal. Yeah, but genuine bigger picture setups. My goodness, how can you trust this? It's in this area where it's just being messy. Just leave it alone. I mean, if you really insist on losing money in the market, go trade AMD these days. Personally, that's not what I like to do. So leave that one alone. And Google, that looks similar to AMD, huh? In a very messy zone. I don't know what that level's doing over there. Only having that. But I mean, just look to the left where it is right now. You've had nothing but chop. Again, this is a 30-minute chart. So for a day trading perspective, for a scalping perspective, you could find opportunities within every candle here. But like I said, you might as well go to Vegas if you're doing that. Let's see if there's any way to identify any sort of level. I mean, no, I don't see anything. Just let it exit this whole area. Again, looking to the left gives you 90% of what you need to know, which most of the time is don't touch it. Because we can see that here with Google and with AMD. Don't touch it. Pretty big mess. Leave it alone. All right, there we go. We got updates on all these updated levels. And let's get all these alerts back up and running. Where was I? Can we start? There we go. So all the alerts will come to us in our community as these levels get hit. I have not got the levels, the alerts on the futures contracts. I'm just doing them here. If you guys want alerts on futures, let me know. I think, yeah, Sujit's got a few going on right now. The thing is, the way I'm doing alerts on futures is with tick charts. So it's, there we go, Amazon went off already, and natural gas. I'm doing alerts on this chart. So it's a bit irrelevant for most guys in here, because most people are not using this chart. All right, let's look at this trade. Still in it. No risk on. It's that break even or better. Target's way up there. This is almost like a daily chart setup. Let's look at that. So going into this chart here, this is the daily chart now on MES. What do we have? Whoa, come on, put into it. Where's the price? I can't see anything. Oh, there it is. So basically the high of yesterday, taking a breakout off of there and going for the next resistance area, which is up here. Realistically, I gotta put it here, I think, for the target at that high. But no big deal, that's fine, it's in the area. Yep. So it's funny, you can actually catch these trades on daily charts just using footprints. You have previous days highs and lows. Wait for it to come down and go back up and watch the footprints as they occur. You may be able to take entries like this. I'm doing it on a 100 tick chart. So, or sorry, on a 1,000 tick chart. That's this one. It's a little different. Actually, it's a lot different. But good fun. Again, here you go. So I like this whole thing where, you know, consolidation, go, consolidation, go. That's healthy price action. You can trust it. If it doesn't consolidate and just goes, well, now you got to really de-risk and be careful, which is usually stuff you get in the New York session. All right, what do we got here? Oliver, in a footprint chart, you like the bars versus the numbers, easier to process. Yeah, bars are easier, definitely easier. I want to find a way to. Oh, whoa, oops! Oh man, I made a mess. Excuse me. Well, look at that. Hitting all these wrong buttons. Yeah, these bars are very simple, but I don't even know how to remove the numbers. If you zoom in far enough, you see these numbers pop up. I haven't found where the setting is to remove the numbers. But yeah, they're easy, right? And this is oh yeah, I just changed this a few hours ago. I'll show you what I did here. For the settings and symbol, here it is. Here, this the type. What I used to have here, I'll show you the difference. What I had last week was the ladder view, which is this. And this, you got to read it kind of diagonally, reading the bids and asks as they get hit. I'm just going with the buy and sell. So at every price, the buying and selling market and limit orders. That's it. Makes life very, very easy. This is all I've done. So, and I'm just looking at all these futures contracts that way. And as you guys see, I've got a few more futures contracts in here, commodities. I've just started looking at them today. I haven't played with them yet. They are, I saw them in the news. I saw some news about it, fertilizer, crops, all that stuff. So I've thrown it on there. Let's see. Maybe there's a way to trade this stuff, huh? This is where the big players play, right? On the floor. Those commodities traders. Let's see. Al, you want to know why I entered MES? Sure. MES. You know what? I think I got the zoom all wrong in here. Hold on. Gosh, I don't even know what I'm doing. All right, there we go. Hold on. I think that makes sense. All right, MES. So what I've got here, I'm using this 1,000 tick chart. All right, and I found this key resistance area from a few days ago, somewhere right here, I think it was. Anyways, key area, and it turns out it was basically yesterday's high. And then when the futures market closed at 5 p.m. and then it opened at 6 p.m. Eastern, it opened up here above yesterday's high. And if you look at it, it was a great big consolidation through the day, right under what was not just yesterday's high, but really a bigger picture resistance. And so it opened up here, had the alert go off when the price got down to this area into yesterday's high, that area, that level. And then it made this double bottom. Well, not exactly double bottom, but you can see it, this higher lows and this more local resistance right about here. Well, let's get some lines out here. See that? Pretty simple. So with higher lows, resistance right there, then the breakout happened, then the retest happened. And with the confirmation of the retest, it was in this zone somewhere in this area. I don't know which candle it was that I got involved in here. And my stop originally was just below it. It was somewhere in this area. So I survived this last pullback that it made before going up. So that's that. That's the whole pattern thing. But that's just candle pattern. If you want to really look at footprints and how I'm reading it, so I identified this as that local resistance. You got the breakout. I'm trying to identify the retest. The first thing I want to see is the imbalance, which you see with the red dot here. The imbalance tells me that there's more sellers than buyers. So that's right here. You can see, if you can read the numbers, I can't even read it. 53 to 9, I believe. Gosh, I need eyeglasses. Imbalance, and so a lot more sellers than buyers, and the price should go down, but it did not. It went up. So right away, as this price starts going up, that makes it interesting. I start looking to the left. I notice here's a massive chunk of sellers, right? A big area. Sure enough, that happened again. So I'm thinking if I can find buyers, significant buyers above this area of sellers, that's where I can get involved. Started to happen here, but it was balanced. It wasn't more buyers than sellers, right? It wasn't happening yet. So I let it go, and I was watching it. I can't remember exactly where, but I suspect here's where I may have gotten interested. Again, you can see where the buyers were, and they were coming up again in this area, and again up here. So you can see the buyers were there coming up, and it was somewhere in this zone I got involved. I can't remember. Some time ago. A few hours ago, and kept a decently wide stop. It was basically down here. I think this imbalance. I may have used this imbalance for the stop below that. And the target is just way, 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 way out of range. It's gone. It's not even this level. It's the next level up. So it has good RVR, but also it has a very wide stop. So again, that's the market structure that I'm looking at. In the NASDAQ, the MNQ was exactly the same trade. I got involved somewhere in this area, and it hit the target there about 15 minutes ago. Same idea. Again, same idea with the bigger picture resistance. Right there, it was also yesterday's high. It gapped up, came down, put those higher lows in, found the entry with the footprint charts, buyers and sellers, not looking at the order book or time frames or anything like that. And off you go. And there was a similar idea on oil, if I'm not mistaken, was, yes, similar. This is oil's activity yesterday with that resistance. And then the breakout happened. I entered on the retest in this area, same kind of entry, but this one stopped out. And since then, we were just talking about this. You can see where it turns out this was a false breakout. It's come right back into what was resistance. And because it's a false breakout, another word for it is trapped buyers up here. There's a good chance for it to go to the other end of it, go down to support. So it looks like it's already halfway there now. So anyways, yeah, that's my thinking. That's what I've been doing so far today. Cool. All right, you took a range trade on MGC oil. You know what you got to do? Trade these straddles, option straddles. Trade options the way they're meant to be traded. Don't abuse them. Long, short, day trades. Do it properly. All right. Well, a few more minutes, guys. Till Jill comes on. Let me know if you have any questions. He's the pro at trading the New York Open. I no longer trade that stuff. I'll be looking a little later as well for probably an hour after the Open. If I'm around, I'll look at the charts and see what else there is in these futures contracts. Overall, I got to say, I like the footprint charts. They're very interesting, very simple to use. With the 1,000 tick charts, I'm not bounded by time. I'm just waiting for these alerts to buzz on my phone usually, And sometimes I take these positions on the phone. I can read these footprints on the phone as well, so it's not too complicated. And it's slow. It's not like trading the New York session where you have to jump in right now. You can put in limit orders and get in nice and easy. Take your time with it, and then let it run. I've been in these positions for a while now. I think last week you saw me take a trade. It was like 8 hours long. Most of these trades are 2 or 3 hours so far. And the RVR is very good. So take a look. It's a fun way to go. Fun. So today we've got Jill at the open. We've got Brian on at 1 p.m. in here. And we got the hooligans, of course, in our Discord room. And this week we're having another webinar by Amal. Hey, who likes Amal's strategy, huh? Fantastic. Fib retracement. I mean, it doesn't get easier. It does not get easier. So take a look at that. Really, I think it's brilliant what he's doing. So if you guys are struggling or unsure about your strategies, looking to simplify, I think he's got a very simple way of doing it. The only hard part is patience, but hey, if you don't have patience, you're not going to be good at this game anyway. So I think it's really good. So he's going to give us another one this week, more geared towards how to use prop firms and use his strategy with these prop firms that he's doing. So be sure to show up. It's on Thursday. All right, Jill, I see you're in here. Whenever you're ready, you can take it away. It's up to you. Unless anyone else has any questions you want to discuss while I'm here. No big deal. Yeah, this one MES. Silver is the one that really has my attention. When this wants to go, oh boy. I'm going to get a piece of this one. I think I caught a piece of this long last week. Somewhere here it was maybe. So again, guys, I was always saying this earlier. What I discovered is with day trading, most people think you got to trade the New York session, and that's the only way to do it at the open. And all that. That's been popularized, but really, from my personal experience, I got to say I am probably 3 or even 4 years behind in my trading journey because I got suckered into all that. There is so much more opportunity out there in this financial market. I mean, I'm talking about just the United States. You don't even have to look at the rest of the world. It's amazing. I'm doing a futures market here, and it's open all the time. And you don't have to get into a frenzy at the open. And you get tremendous amount of leverage if you know how to use leverage. And the price action is super simple. There's nothing complicated about it. You don't have to go crazy with this stuff. Absolutely not necessary. So if people come to me today and say, I want to learn how to trade, I'll just show them futures contracts and how to find support and resistance on charts of very simple stuff. Easy ways to find levels. You can even go to automatic levels, previous days highs and lows. Don't have to think about it. And then what asymmetry is meant to be, as you risk $1 to make $5. Just focus on those few things. And then a little bit about footprint charts. And this is what it looks like when buyers buy. This is what it looks like when sellers sell. And you want the sellers to overpower the buyers or the other way around at key levels, and that's it. That's exactly what I would tell someone today they want to get involved in the markets. And also, don't quit your job. You can keep your job and you can trade anytime you want. The market's always there, right? The futures market. Don't have to wake up at 5 a.m. in some crazy time zone and all that stuff. You don't have to. Do it at your convenience. That's what I'm doing nowadays, man. I wake up and I'm trading at 8 a.m. in Dubai, which is what, midnight Eastern, something like that. Doesn't matter. All good. It's very, very simple. Do not overcomplicate it. Plenty of opportunity here. All right, hey Jill, how you doing?
Hey, good morning or good evening for you, sir. How are you?
Thank you. Good, and good morning to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, just having fun in the pre-market a little bit while I can. So
I just caught the last part of what you're saying there, Avi, and all I have to say is ditto. I'm absolutely getting away from. I've gotten away from trading the open. I don't do that anymore. I usually wait at least 15 minutes to a half hour. But getting back into futures, I've been saying it for a while, but it's time. I'm getting back into it and being able. I mean, I was seeing Amal posting things from amazing setups at 11:30 Eastern last night and hit target in 10 minutes.
Yeah, amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, like you've said a million times, there's so many opportunities, and you just have to refine and find what works for you, and go from there.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Gotta find what works for you. So don't be afraid of independent thinking. You can always find stuff. Cool, man. Cool. Thanks, Jill. Well, it's your show, Jill. From here on, go ahead and take it away.
All right, thank you. I'll share my screen, and